Hi, I'm Brad Oster. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. This is Harvestime Introduction Part 2. You know, after building churches around the United States for about 30 years, I've heard many times pastors come up to me and say, you know, I wish that we knew a company like Harvestime existed. We've gone out and we've bought a piece of property only to find out it was the wrong piece of property. We've hired architects in many cases, and this happens a lot. We've paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. We've got a design that was supposed to cost $2.5 million. The low bid's $5 million. Now we have a set of drawings that we can't afford to build. We have hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in these plans. We've shown them to the congregation. We've got virtual tours. We did a fundraising campaign, only to come up with a design that's basically useless because we can't afford to build it. We've had other churches hire builders, you know, and go through the building process. In fact, I had a friend of mine in Durham, North Carolina come up to me one day, and we were looking at doing some master planning for them. They had just finished a new facility. So I took him over to Cary and I showed him a building that we had done. And when we finished looking through the building, he came out and he was pretty disgusted looking. And I thought, well, I thought you're supposed to like the building. And he said, oh, I love the building. The reason he was somewhat disgusted, I suppose, is because his building that he had just built was not as big as this one, not nearly as nice as the one that I showed him, and not nearly as functional, only he paid a lot more money than what the building we had just seen cost. He said, Brad, I wish I'd known about you guys. I could have got a better building, more functional, more space, less money, if only we had known. And so, you know, I looked at how can we go out and work with churches all across the United States and take the knowledge and the experience God's given us over hundreds of projects in 30 years worth of experience, and how can we make that available to churches all throughout the country. So what we did is we formed a university. It's called Harvestime University, and we've put this on the internet. You can find our website at harvestimeu.com. So HARVESTIME, the letter U.com. And what we're doing is a distance learning program here where we've put 28 classes on the internet for you. You can take them in individual classes, about $195 a class. We put them in groups of 7, so we have 4 different groupings of 7 classes each, and you can buy the entire grouping if you like, and that'll save you $300 or $400, or you can buy all 28 classes, and rather than spending $195 per class, it's about $100 a class. But we've taken everything from strategic planning to creative land acquisition, and I'll go through this in a little bit in a little more detail and show you the classes we've put on here. But we've done this in order to share the information and the knowledge that we've gained over 30 years with folks who are just getting started. They don't teach any of this in seminary. They kind of put you out there and say, go out and grow a great church. But when it comes to acquiring property and dealing with city and zoning, dealing with neighbors and building committees and architects and contractors and fundraisers, you're just kind of on your own. Well, not anymore. The wisest man that ever lived, Solomon, said, hey, how much better is knowledge to acquire than gold and silver? You're better to have knowledge. And he's the smartest guy that ever lived. So the question is, well, how do you get it? And now we're here to share 30 years worth of experience, hundreds of projects. You can benefit now just by simply taking the classes over the internet. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the website, going to walk you through the website, kind of talk you through how this all works and go into more detail on the classes. If you have any questions, give us a call, 719-532-0780. Okay, here we are on the home page at harvestimeu.com. Now, if you click on the little blue box where it says watch the free introduction video, I'll give you more information here. Now, these videos take a little bit of time to load up, depending on your internet connection and the speed of your computer, but this will give you a lot more detailed information than we have time for on YouTube. So back to the home page, on the red in the center says to learn more about us, click here. That gives some of the history of Harvest Time, some of the projects we've done around the United States. Now, up on the tabs up there, on the upper right, if you click on the courses, this will give great detail about the courses that we offer. You can see Class 101, Planning and Building a Building Program. There's 7 classes. Developing a Strategic Ministry Plan, a 10-step development process, organizing and training the Long Range Planning Task Force, developing your team, understanding roles and responsibilities, along with creative land acquisition, improving relationships with neighboring properties in your community, and understanding and working with government agencies. That's all part of Class 101, which is Planning and Building Program, or Planning Your Building Program. Now, Class 201 is executing the building program. We're going to talk there about architectural program, the program analysis, who should write the programming, interviewing and selecting and working with your architect, creating your campus development plan, designing state-of-the-art facilities that enhance your ministry, selecting and hiring, working with a sound, video, and lighting consultant, how to conduct an effective town hall meeting to get your congregation involved in your project, and how to select, hire, and work with your builder. These classes are various times and length. You can see some of the time frames up there in 101. Classes 2.3 hours, 2 hours. Most of these classes are broken down into sections, so don't feel like you've got to sit there for 2.5 hours to watch a class. It's actually broken up into 2 or 3 different components. We try and do about 40 minutes at a time and then give you a break. Now, if you continue on, Class 301 is Financing Your Building Program. We'll talk about matching your financial realities with your building and property, how to manage a successful fundraising campaign, video and marketing materials for a great campaign, determining the best lending sources and negotiating the best terms from your lender, selecting, hiring, and working with an interior designer, preparing in advance for your new mortgage payment, and then eliminating builder-initiated change orders. That's all part of Class 301, which focuses on financing your building program. Class 401, maximizing your ministry momentum. We'll talk about enlisting, coordinating, and working with volunteers. Volunteers can be a real blessing, but they can be a nightmare if they're not handled correctly. Next, we'll look at marketing your grand opening for maximum exposure, running an effective gifts in kind program. Very important, getting donated materials and labor to your project. Protect your ministry and building program from industry scams. We'll look at the top 10 scams that are out there and teach you how to avoid those. Landscape and maintain your property for free as a class, building loyalty and getting first-time guests to return, and then building green without growing into red, or going into red. This is all part of Class 401. So we've put these classes together to try and cover all the bases. Now, when you click on one of these classes, you'll see a more detailed explanation come up. Here it talks about the various courses. This is the individual classes now as they come up, and we'll give you all the detail as to what you can expect. An example, this is 101-1, Developing Your Strategic Ministry Plan. Now, as you continue on, you'll look at the various classes. You can buy the individual classes for $195 each, or we group them together for $995 for 7 courses, or you can buy the whole thing at about $2,800, so $100 a class. We've got a page up there for testimonies. You can read those. You can click on the box over there that says watch the free pastor testimony. Now, again, these do take a while to load up, but depending on your internet speed and your computer. But we've got lots of testimonies, lots of references of folks who have gained from the wisdom and experience that God has given us over 30 years, hundreds of projects all across the United States. Now, if you go back up and click on the facilities tab up there, we'll share with you a lot of the facilities that we've done. Now, we don't do very traditional looking churches. Most of our facilities look like this. This is Crossroads Grace in Manteca, California, one of the fastest growing churches in Central California. Coming up next is a project we did in Boise, Idaho, one of the fastest growing Nazarene churches in the United States. It's the first Church of the Nazarene. Now let's look at how you hook up and get an account going here. Where it says create a free account, just click on that. We partner with a company called Digital Chalk. They run all of this on the internet for us. You simply fill out this form. That will get your account set up. There's no cost at all for that. Then determine which class you want, and then simply click here where it says yes, you log in and register. Then you can go through, you can look at all the different classes here. Pick the classes you'd like. If you want to buy them individually or if you want to bunch them together, you can do that also. So as you click on a class, in this case, the 10-step development process will give you a detailed description, everything that's in that class. There's a lot of downloadable items. As you continue to read through here, you'll see step 1 through 10 down there. That's all part of that class. You simply add those to your cart, and then when you're ready to check out, this box will come up. You simply fill that out, put in we use PayPal, so it's a good, safe way to use it over the internet, and you're all set to go. Again, call us if you need to. Thank you.